leadership purpose. It's who you are and what makes you distinct. Here's a spoiler alert. I'll be asking you to think about your own leadership purpose soon. I like to start with this concept because to me, communication is about finding your own unique voice and style. It's not about trying to emulate someone else. So thinking about who you are and what makes you distinct puts you in the right mindset for developing your communication strategy. I also always share with my students what my leadership purpose is. It's important to know who you're learning from and their background and biases. It's also important as a communicator to build up your credibility, but I'll go over this concept later on in the course. My leadership purpose is to help people find their pink pumps. In order for you to really understand what that means, though, you need a bit of background. This is a picture of me being officially called to the bar. No, I'm not going drinking. It means I'm becoming a lawyer, and from the outside, it seems like everything is going really well for me. I'm a young professional, I have a good job. Basically, it seems like I'm setting myself up for success. But I didn't feel successful at all. I felt miserable. I didn't like the practice of law. I would cry every morning as I walked downtown toward my law firm. I'll tell you a bit more about this when we get to our unit on storytelling. I had just spent 3 years in school, plus another 4 doing an undergraduate degree, a year articling, and a bunch of money on becoming a lawyer. But I knew it wasn't the job for me. It was as instinctual as my dislike of pineapple. I knew something had to change. So one day I decided on a whim that I would apply to my dream school, Columbia's Graduate School of Journalism. And in my entrance essay, I wrote about my favorite pair of pink shoes. Shoes have always been really important to me. My grandfather owned shoe stores, and for me, they're a symbol of family and creativity and individuality. I explained that in my essay. And then I explained that there were rules of court that said I couldn't wear this pink pair, my favorite pair. I had chosen a profession that wouldn't let me express myself. Basically, I wrote about pink shoes to my dream school. And you know what? I got in. Someone on the admissions committee must have also liked pink pumps. I retired from the practice of law at the tender age of 26. I packed up my life and I flew to New York. There, I spent the year studying reporting and writing, ultimately storytelling. Since then, I've worked in newsrooms in both New York and Vancouver, and I've taught communication. I've been a freelance writer, blogger, and even a very serious journalist. That was a slow news day. I use my background as both an advocate and a journalist in my approach to teaching communication. To me, it's a blend of logic, art, empathy, facts and figures, as well as people and places. And what I've found is the more I open up and speak honestly about my background, the more people come to me with their goals. That's how I found my leadership purpose, through my communication. And ultimately, it's become my goal to help my students figure out where their passions lie, what makes them unique, and how to articulate those qualities to others.